Welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham. If you have a comment, email it to me, box13@greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives and become one of our friends on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Detectives. I want to thank Lisa for supporting the show by sending in a donation to me at my P.O. Box, Adam Graham, P.O. Box 15913, Boise, Idaho 83715. Thanks so much for the support, Lisa. This fall, I'll be competing in 4 half marathons in 5 weeks to raise funds for HIV/AIDS orphans in India. Through 52-4, we're bringing hope to kids in just a really hopeless and difficult situation. And so I will be completing 4 half marathons in 5 weeks. And you can sponsor me in this effort. Just go to 524.greatdetectives.net. That's 524.greatdetectives.net. Well, now it's time for today's episode of Rocky Jordan. The original air date, March the 20th of 1949. And this one is Passport for Vivi.
Time now for Rocky Jordan. Not far from the Mosque Sultan Hassan in Cairo stands the Café Tambourine, run by Rocky Jordan. The Café Tambourine, crowded with forgotten men, alive with the babble of many languages. For this is Cairo, where modern adventure and intrigue unfold against a backdrop of antiquity. Tonight's story, Passport for Vivi.
Her name was Vivi. I don't know what the rest of it was or where she came from. Probably a mixture of all the forgotten places from the Danube to the Nile. She wore too much makeup. Her clothes wouldn't have drawn a second look in a fire sale. And her collarbones kept reminding you she was even skinnier than the dames in the fashion magazines from back home. But there was something about her. Chris, my bartender, called her the Sphinx because she had wide Egyptian eyes and because she always seemed to smile no matter who threw sand in her face. I had a different idea. I figured out a long time later, Vivi knew what she wanted, that's all. And it was good. Well, like a lot of the girls, Vivi drifted into the place several times before I realized I'd been noticing her. It took an American to make me do that. It was on one of those sweaty nights when the flies are bad. You know, a sandstorm is coming. A big Armenian was playing chess with a Turkish soldier over in one corner. The American was draped on the bar, pawing for a rail that wasn't there.
My name's Jeb Waters, salesman from Kansas City, Kansas, not Missouri.
Oh, how are you? Mine's Jordan. I run this cafe.
Oil field supply, pal. I'm an oil field supply. It's a great little line these days, oil.
Well, we all sell something.
This is my first trip to Cairo. Flying, a great way to travel, pal. Flying.
How about another bourbon?
Sure. Expense account's as big as his stomach. You see what I mean, pal? You get me, pal?
Get you, pal.
Say, Jordan, like I say, it's my first trip to Cairo, see? And I've been tending pretty strictly to business since I got here last week.
That's a way to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, well, what I mean is after this, I head for the Persian Gulf. Kind of a lonesome place, the Persian Gulf. You see what I mean, boy?
You're talking to the wrong guy. I lost my date book.
Oh, now, don't get me wrong. I just thought, well, I haven't had much time for sightseeing, and there's supposed to be some pretty good night spots around here if somebody could... Who is she?
Huh?
That one coming in.
Oh, I forget her name.
Boy, makes you feel like Humphrey Bogart, don't it?
Here, take the bottle.
Hello, Rocky.
Hello, Vivi.
Forgot her.
Relax, Kansas.
You have seen him? You have seen him, Rocky?
No, he hasn't been in, kid.
Him? Who's him? Say, what's this all
She's
about?
She's looking for somebody, that's all.
Victor. His name is Victor. He was to meet me here 2 days ago. Perhaps you have seen him, monsieur?
Oh, sure, honey. I know lots of Victors.
Herr Maître Seaman, monsieur.
What's she doing, kidding me?
She told you she's looking for the guy. Stood her up, I guess. Sorry, kid.
I will find him.
Yeah, try again later, maybe.
Hey, wait a minute. What's the matter with me? Nothing's the matter with me.
Excuse me, monsieur.
Come on, sister, come on. I mean it. What's a punk seaman
Please,
got that
let
I
go.
have?
Hey.
Now you're nobody.
She said let go.
Stay out of this, Jordan.
Sure.
Hitting me wasn't so smart, Jordan. See, you spilled the bottle, too.
It's all right. You're not drinking anymore.
You bet I'm not. Not in a joint like this. Back in Kansas, I wouldn't be found dead in a joint like this.
I'm sorry, Rocky.
So am I.
People like him, they happen so often.
Yeah, they pay their bills.
I'm sorry about that, too.
Oh, stop being sorry for everything. Just go someplace else.
When I find Victor, he will loan me the piastres I owe you.
Look, why don't you wise up? You were ditched by a sailor, that's all. Okay, go home and forget it.
For whose sake should I do that, Rocky?
For your own. What do you think I meant?
I don't think anything, Rocky.
All right. The weather, I guess.
Besides, I will find him soon.
Sure. Go look someplace.
Good night, Rocky.
Wait a minute. Had anything to eat tonight?
I'm not hungry, Rocky.
Sit down at a table someplace. Get you a bowl of soup. Well, that was Vivi. Not much, but something. I picked up the bourbon bottle and headed for the kitchen, wondering if I couldn't make more money as a camel driver. I just tripped the heat on under the soup when I heard it. A rock had been pegged through the front glass window. I figured the salesman from Kansas City, Kansas, was trying to get even with a few convention tricks. That made me sore, and I took out after him like a Marine after a free beer. When I got out into the street, it was empty. Not even a baksheesh boy or a drunken occidental. Just a lot of shadows and sky full of black air that felt heavy and compressed.
Signore.
The voice was behind me, but I turned slowly. There was no point in jarring that thing that was poking me. It turned out to be a .45. And back of that, I could make out a pointed beard, a black coat, and a pair of baggy European pants.
Signore.
Yeah, I heard you. What do you want?
The alley, please. Come on, the alley.
We got privacy here.
Hey.
Okay. What happened to Waters?
You gonna tell me, senor.
This is far enough.
This is far enough.
To tell you nothing? Take it easy, you'll blow a gasket.
Senor Waters, where he go? Come on, tell me.
The Persian Gulf.
Inside, what he say?
Whiskey.
Tell me what he talking
The
about.
price of pyramids.
You should be aware, senor. This Waters, he's what you call a crook. Just like a Capone, is a crook.
Sure, and your internal revenue.
Please, I have a business with him, that's all. You must help. I must know what he's doing.
How should I know?
The girl, who is she? What he say to her?
Nothing to interest you, buddy. The conversation was all about a merchant seaman named Victor.
Seaman named Victor?
That's it. Well, I told you. Now, you happy?
No, senor. Not so happy. Not so happy at all.
His face froze when I mentioned the seaman named Victor. He stood there a moment looking at me, then he took off. I could hear his steps as he ran down the alley and out toward Ari Ben Polda. Then he was gone, and it was quiet again, and there was nothing left in the hot night but me and the mysterious East. Well, I walked around to the street and back inside the Tambourine. First thing I noticed was the chess game had broken up. The Armenian and the Turk had gone home. Then I saw the corner table where Vivi had sat. It was empty, too. She'd disappeared. Well, I poured myself a drink, went to bed, and tried to forget about it. But the things that don't make sense, the ones you can't forget. I was up early the next morning. The wind had started to blow, and I got Chris to nail some boards over the broken window to keep the Sahara from drifting in. Then I headed out to buy a piece of glass. I could have found a closer place, but I steered through the dust with the big street markets beyond the Mosque Sultan Hassan. Guess I was a little relieved when I found what I was really looking for.
Rocky, good morning.
Hello, Vivi.
Yeah, nice surprise.
Skip it. Hey, you forgot your soup last night.
Oh, but the broken window, I was so afraid you would be angry. I caused you so much trouble.
That's right.
I am sorry, Rocky.
Look, kid, you know a guy in a goatee? European, Italian, I think.
There are many men, Rocky.
You know him?
No, I do not think so. Why?
Well, he stopped me outside the Tambourine last night with a gun. The name of your boyfriend seems to mean something to him. Scares him.
The name Victor?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a joke. Oh, Victor, he's a nice boy. He would not scare anyone.
Okay, just thought I'd tell you.
You're very funny.
I smell something, that's all.
Oh,
Oh, all right. I don't know why I bothered.
don't you, Rocky?
No.
Rocky, please, you don't be angry. Please, I do need help.
Well, go to the police.
I did, and to the consulate, and I cannot find him.
Bakshish, Effendi,
No, beat it. Him, she. Come on.
And I asked everywhere, Rocky. No one has seen Victor, not for 2 days.
Maybe he's got other friends.
But there is no one else in Cairo he knows. That was why I laughed just now.
Okay, let's have all of it.
There is no one any place. He missed his ship at Port Said last week, and he is in Cairo, and I meet him. He is all alone in the world like I am.
Love at first sight, huh?
No, Rocky. I do not love Victor.
What?
Not yet.
What in the name of heaven?
Please. You would not understand. You are strong. You have everything.
What makes you think you'll ever see him again?
Oh, he needs me, Rocky, like I need him.
Make beautiful the lady
He promised
shoulders.
me he would not
Hey,
leave
Mr.
without
Boy,
me.
shawls.
No,
I
we're
believe him.
not buying anything. Come on.
Best shawls in
You
old
please
Cairo.
help me, Rocky. His full name is Victor Dinelli.
Italian?
Here, shawls for the lady, Mr. Boy. Here, I show you.
Go away.
No, Rocky.
Super shawls.
American. Don't you see? Victor is an American.
Here, Effendi. Here, around the lady's shoulders, I drape the blue.
Look, Mac, I said we're not buying it. Hey, you.
Rocky!
About the time the peddler threw the shawl over Vivi's shoulder, I caught on he was the same Armenian who'd been at my place the night before playing chess. I reached to grab him when he started to run, but Vivi had grabbed me first. She hung on tight. The blue shawl fell away, and I could see why. There was a rug knife buried between her shoulder blades. I could feel her skinny arms around me start to relax. Then Vivi crumbled to the sidewalk alongside the blue shawl. Only now it was turning red.
You are listening to Passport for Vivi, tonight's adventure with Rocky Jordan. The day of miracles is not done, and one way to work miracles today without leaving your home is to contribute to your Red Cross. Your contribution will go out doing the yeoman service to your fellow humans that you would like to do yourself but cannot. Your contribution will perform miracles of aid for the homeless, the wounded, the hungry. Send your contribution out today to work miracles. Now we take you back to Cairo and tonight's adventure with Rocky Jordan, Passport for Vivi.
Well, like so many things, it started out with a woman, Vivi. But she wasn't like other women. She'd been haunting my Café Tambourine looking for an American merchant seaman named Victor. She never told me why. There was a salesman from Kansas, USA, and an Italian whose name no one mentioned as yet in the picture, too. But the center of interest was the girl looking for Victor. She didn't find him, but found a knife in her back instead. Well, that left me in the middle of the street markets with a knifed girl on my hands. I put in a quick call for an ambulance, and it took her to a hospital. I couldn't go with her because someone else had put in a call to the police, and a squad car was on its way. I figured I'd do my talking to Sam Sabaya, captain of the Cairo police, out of reach on a telephone.
Jordan, where are you telephoning from?
Sorry, Sam, I can't tell you.
Jordan, listen to me. You are in serious trouble. You were in the company of a girl who was knifed. The injury is most serious and she may die.
I know that, Sam.
It would then be murder. Jordan, I am warning you. I have my men looking for you right at this moment.
I didn't do it, Sam. You know that. It was an Armenian posing as a rug seller.
You have witnesses?
About 5,000 if they were looking.
Then what do you fear? If you have witnesses and you did not do it, why do you not come to me?
Funny thing, Sam, when something like this happens, people pull their heads in. They all lit out for Mecca.
Ah, so then you are my only witness and my only suspect. Jordan, I tell you once again, turn yourself in. Come to me.
You're wasting time, Sam. Look for that Armenian. You know I didn't do it.
I only know that it is the jackal who strikes and runs away.
I'm not running. I got work to do.
Such as?
Maybe I'm looking for a sailor named Victor, too. I don't know.
But the girl has looked everywhere. You yourself think is that he will not be found.
All right, I mixed up.
Perhaps then you will say you are looking for the one who tried to kill her.
Maybe.
Jordan, what does this girl mean to you?
Nothing.
Then why are you thinking of vengeance when this is a job for the police? Why do you do this when you say the girl means nothing to you? Why, Jordan? I do not understand. Do you?
No. That's the trouble with the world. People always want to understand things. Well, for a starter, I picked Jeb Waters. The American Express Company suggested I call it the Ramsey's Hotel. I did. It wasn't much. One potted palm and a sober Egyptian with a water pipe who fumbled some cards and said, Room 14 through the courtyard. That must have been the number one girls' quarters in the days when the place was a harem. A latticed door looked into a suite. I knocked. Nobody answered, so I lifted the latch. A sitting room, cool and dark and empty. There was another door, bedroom, I guess, and I moved over to try that. It went off right in my face, but I don't know what it was aimed at because I still felt healthy when I dove for the floor. My hand hit a foot that was trying to jump over me. I hung on and got a man on my chest for the trouble. He rolled and I grabbed again, a handful of baggy pants. I swung somewhere in the north and landed. He went down. On his way, I caught a glimpse of Beard. It was the Italian who froze when I'd mentioned Victor Dinelli's name. Before I could pile him, his arm went around, and I guess the butt of the gun went with it. Well, a couple of stars later, I reached up to feel the bump on my head, and my hand touched leather. It was a passport the Beard must have dropped during the fight. I looked at it. On the first page was a bad picture of a nice kid in a blue shirt. Under that was the name Victor Dinelli. Vivi's Victor. For the first time, things began to tie together. But it was a crazy knot. And a moment later, the door opened and Kansas walked in.
Well, here you are. Hello, pal.
Yeah.
Desk said you'd be here. Hey, what did you do to my place? Everything's thrown all around.
Not me, Buster.
$50. $50 gone and my traveler's checks.
He won't be able to cash them.
Who?
A Beard.
Oh.
He says he doesn't like you. You do business and you're a crook, he says.
Hey, take it easy, boy. I'm not in good shape. Oh, my head. Oh, mother, my head.
Your head? What's his name?
You know, I finally connected last night. I hit every spot.
What's his
in
name?
Town.
The Beard's.
Dispore. Gino or Vino Dispore, something like that. Yes, sir, I hit every spot in town, and you can have this town and that whole desert. Me for Palm Springs.
All right, get off it.
Me for Palm Springs. You said it. Me for the zestful, restful Rothmore Hotel where a guy can relax.
Get it off,
fun.
I said. I'm talking to you.
What's the matter? You still sore at me, pal? Well, I don't blame you. Guess I kind of got out of line in your place last night.
You still are.
Knifed, wasn't she? Almost killed her, huh? Yeah, the cops told me. Called me at the company branch office.
I gave him your name.
Well, thanks. I wouldn't have made a pass at her if I'd known she was yours.
Who says she was?
Well, what are you doing here? No skin off your neck, is it? If the Armenian did it, that's all there is to it. Maybe he was sore because she wouldn't cut a rug with him or something.
You seen this passport before?
Victor Dinelli, huh? No. That the boy she asked about?
Dispore dropped it. He's tied in. Now give.
Look, pal, like I told the cops, I really don't know who he... Take it easy, pal. That's a clean shirt.
Keep talking.
Italian. New in town, looking for business deals, that's all. Met him in a bar. He's a sucker.
And you're a salesman.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a little side operation, is there? Do you know... I sold that jerk some shares in the Golden Gate. So help me, boy, I actually did it. No wonder he's sore. I didn't hook him for much, $100. I just did it to have something to tell the boys back home. That dumb foreigner. Well, you're an American. You think it's funny, don't you?
So long, salesman. I walked out onto the street and looked at Victor Dinelli's passport once again. Then I thought of Vivi and her riddle. Well, I couldn't go to the hospital to talk to her, so I did the next best thing. I went over to where she lived to see what I could find. It was a box-like room in a French woman's rooming house on the Street of 1,000 Eyes. There was a cardboard suitcase standing near the bureau, ready to go. But it was the walls that really told her story. The walls and the things I heard her say to me.
You are strong, Rocky. You have everything you would not understand.
Over the bed were pasted 97 pages from the Sears Roebuck catalog.
Victor, he needs me like I need him. He promised he would not leave without me. I believe him.
The rest of the room was covered with maps. Maine was next to the washstand, and California hung by the window. It was all there.
He's American. Don't you see? Victor is an American.
Yeah, that's all she ever wanted. The land of the free and the home of the brave. And the sailor was the guy she was sure would give it to her. Vivi's riddle was as simple as that. I started thinking the millions of people over here with the same idea. But I snapped out of the trance fast. There was a face in the window, a dirty face with long curly hair on top and a super superior shawl below. It was the Armenian. I took out after him and hit the street the same time he hit the next corner. He led me through half the alleys in the Ali Sports District, then into a blacker section of the native quarter. Finally, he ducked into a doorway. I skirted around to the side and slipped into the shadow of an alley entrance next to the mud building. It figured to be the only spot I could still see the door and watch the rear, too. It figured wrong, that's all.
Mr. Boy, you saved me trouble, eh?
Where are you?
You, let me lead you right to my place. My super superior place with a nice flat roof I can stand upon and watch you below.
Oh, here you are.
That is, Jordan, I am at shooting better than with a knife. Now, do not move. I'm coming down. There. Now we see my face, yes?
Yeah, and it ain't much. What do you want?
I want you to kill Sam.
On whose orders?
On orders of Mr. Boss, who does not like you.
Well, I don't like him either. Who is he?
I disremember.
How much moolah will it take to start remembering?
Huh? What is moolah?
Money. How much?
Moolah. That is funny American word. Now I know many American words for money. Dough, cabbage, scratch, moolah.
Let's drop your education. Get back to business.
No can do business, Mr. Boy. Even your tambourine is not worth enough. Come. We have things to do in the shed.
Well, the alley's just as good for what you got planned.
The shed, more better. There are boxes there so that I may stuff you in and bury you in the desert.
Yeah, I'll buy it if you build a pyramid over me. Otherwise, I'll just pass it up.
No, Mr. Boy, no pass up. Come, move.
Okay, stop waving that thing.
Now, inside.
You go inside.
Stop, Mr. Boy!
Well, Jordan, this time you are running toward the police.
Hello, Sam.
The police want you for questioning, Jordan. You do not come to them, we come to you.
I'm not complaining, believe me. Is he dead?
Seems so.
Well, he was Murder Incorporated.
Well, now you will come with me, Jordan. There's still another matter of interrogation. That young lady in the hospital is not expected to leave.
Yeah, we can get some answers right here. That joker in the deep freeze was the one.
I prefer to talk in the police station.
It's not just a matter of talking, Sam. It's a matter of looking, too. Come on, into the shed.
All right.
Yeah, there they are.
And what are they, Jordan?
Our rug cutter's boxes, rigged for traveling and burying. This empty one seems to have been for me.
And this other one?
I think it's already rented on a long-term lease. Open it up, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is this man, Jordan?
Victor Donnelly, merchant seaman, USA, Italian descent. Vivi's boy, Victor. I guess you can stop looking now.
I will telephone the coroner, and you, Jordan, will please come with me to the police station.
Am I under arrest, Sam?
Technically, no.
Sorry, Sam. See you at headquarters in about 45 minutes. Right now, I got a date to see a man about a very ugly racket.
You're listening to Passport for Vivi, tonight's adventure with Rocky Jordan. Monday night brings you more mystery on CBS, that special kind of top mystery that has fans everywhere turning first to CBS. At 9 Monday night, CBS brings you Inner Sanctum and a story called Only the Dead Die Twice. Remember Inner Sanctum at 9 Monday night. Now we take you back to Cairo and tonight's adventure with Rocky Jordan, Passport for Vivi.
Well, Vivi said that her Victor wouldn't leave her, and he didn't. He'd just been dead a couple of days, that's all. Killed by the Armenian and packed for a desert burial. But the Armenian was leg man for somebody else's racket. The Italian Desporis or the salesman from Kansas City, Kansas. It didn't take a lot of figuring to get the right one. Victor's death and his lost passport gave the answer. Well, I'd made a deal with Sam. 45 minutes was all I asked for. I'd meet him then at the police station, and he could ask questions until he turned blue. 45 minutes was all I needed. Just took me 20 to get over to the Ramsey's Hotel, and just a few more seconds to cross the courtyard and bounce into room 14.
Come on in, boy. Door's always open to a pal.
You can quit packing, Buster.
Oh, those are just my samples, boy.
Well, you won't need them anymore. Your time's all taken up.
Hey, what have you been drinking, pal? You're all wound up.
Your
like
Armenian friend just had his rug cut. We turned up Victor's body before he got it buried.
You're out of my depth.
I don't think so. You thought you had a pretty sweet little racket, didn't you? Despori, Italian, wants to get into the United States, so he comes to you to buy a soul. Identity, passport, the works.
I just told you I'm a salesman.
You couldn't resist bragging about it, could you? Couldn't resist saying you sold Despori the Golden Gate. What you really sold him, or at least planned to, was Victor Donnelly's identity, so that Despori could go to the U.S. as Donnelly.
You're quite a storyteller, pal.
I'm just telling it, buddy. You wrote it. You know, you had me going for a while when Despori dropped the passport in our little scuffle here. I thought he had taken it from Donnelly. But it was you who had Victor killed and took his passport. Despori was just taking it from you. What'd you do, boost the price on him?
Who cares?
He does. He knows what a mess he's in now.
Yeah, well, he can stay there.
Sure, while you go looking for more suckers.
Maybe.
Not a chance, buddy. Despori isn't going to be happy with a murder rap. After he gets through talking, you're going to get stretched.
Oh, now, pal, wait a minute.
Knifing Vivi to get her to stop looking for Victor turned your table, buddy. It would have gone nicely for you if a little lonely girl hadn't kept looking for a lonely sailor.
You gotta expect reverses in business, pal.
Well, your business stinks. Sending a lot of unhappy people entrees into the United States.
I suppose you're gonna turn me over to the police.
Yeah. But first, you and I got a little unfinished business. I guess I lied to Sam. I didn't make it back to the police station in 45 minutes. Took me a little more than an hour before I dropped Jeb Waters on Sam's doorstep. But Sam wasn't mad. By then, Kansas was ready to do a lot of talking, even through his swollen lips. Well, all that was left was Vivi. It was night, and the cool wind from the desert was blowing onto the Cairo streets when I walked into the hospital. A couple of old Egyptian women were scrubbing floors. Aside from that, there seemed to be nothing else to the hospital but the smell of antiseptic. But there was. Vivi, room 204. She lay in the white bed, her eyes closed. One look at the nurse attending her told you all you had to know about her condition.
Rocky, is that you?
Yeah.
Hello, Rocky.
Hello, Vivi.
Do not mind my eyes. They are closed. They are so heavy. Rocky, you have found Victor?
Yeah, we found him.
Then he did come back for me. He did come back as he said he would. Did he not, Rocky?
Yeah. He came back.
I knew he would. Poor boy.
What do you mean?
Now I'll not be able to go to the United States with him. The poor boy will have to go alone and be lonely once again. I will not be lonely ever again.
Vivi.
Rocky. I feel so tired, Rocky. I think that I will sleep.
Good night, Vivi.
Goodbye, Rocky.
It's CBS again at this same time next week for another story of adventure and intrigue when we take you back to Cairo and the Café Tambourine, run by Rocky Jordan. Jack Moyles plays the title role with tonight's story by Jackson Gillis, edited by Larry Roman and Gomer Cool. Rocky Jordan is produced and directed by Cliff Howell with original music by Richard Arant. Larry Thor speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. Well, another episode that I think showcases the character of Rocky Jordan. And the vast majority of times, Rocky gets into all these troubles, risking life and limb because he gets concerned about someone. Vivi didn't have to be his woman, quote unquote. She was someone he liked and sympathized with. And that's, of course, what the businessman from Kansas City didn't understand. I think there's a very strong post-war ethic in this series about how you should act, particularly as an American. The idea is you should treat people with decency and goodwill, not like this guy from Kansas City who took advantage of people, desperate people who really needed and wanted hope for their lives. And it's such a tragic thing that happened to Vivi, as well as to her sailor friend. Yet Rocky, he does all he can do, which isn't to give her a dream, but at least to make those who used and exploited her pay for what they did. All right, well, listener comments and feedback now. And have a question here from Bill. Bill writes in, "Hi, Adam. I know it's hard sometimes to get full cast lists for these shows, but do you know if it was Bill Conrad who played the Turk? Thanks." Bill, I do not know for certain because in terms of cast list, what we have with this, with Rocky Jordan is essentially what we hear over the radio or what's on Radio Gold Index, and there's just not a full cast list there. However, from listening to it, I don't think it was Bill Conrad. Conrad can do some different accents, but he always has a cadence to the way he speaks. And I think that the voice of the guy who played the Turk wasn't quite like Conrad. So I would say probably not, but others might disagree. All right, well, that's all for now. Join us back here tomorrow for Boston Blackie, and then next Wednesday, it's another episode of Rocky Jordan. In the meantime, send your comments to box13@greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives and become one of our friends on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Detectives. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.